As far back as I can remember, I dreamt of a normal life. A life filled with normal things. A life where monsters don't live in closets or under the bed. A life where ghosts aren't real. I just wanted to be normal. But that didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. Since my early 20s, I have experienced profound paranormal events that would change my life. Extreme poltergeist activity, living amongst those that have departed this earth in ways unimaginable. It has affected my loved ones and children with no end in sight. I could hear things, see things, and feel things not of this world. I asked myself if this was a gift or a curse. With the help of my mother and close friends, I emerged a paranormal investigator. Since 2013, I have been on a relentless journey to learn about the paranormal. This is my time to share my journey with you. Welcome to my Paranormal Soapbox. Hello and welcome to my Paranormal Soapbox. I'm your friendly neighborhood ghost hunter, Justin Brown, and we are presenting episode 85 this evening. And we're going to be talking about, or answering the question rather, is paranormal investigation a spiritual practice? Seems like an odd question, maybe, but I ran across an article last week, I think, and it was very, very interesting to me, and I resonated with a lot about what it said. I try to keep up with the culture of religion, anthropology, and stuff, so I think you need to if you want to become a good paranormal researcher and help people figure out things. So here we are. Thank you for joining me. I see everybody coming in. I see Becky Compton, Bill Davis, Darren Smith, A Fireball, Tina P, Josh Bender's here. Everybody's rolling in. Oh, Vanessa's here. And Sandy Griffin. Yeah, well, I just invited Vanessa, so maybe she's just responding to me spamming her. We got just Miss Eve Vestine tonight. Jess, what's up with Jess tonight? I forget what she said was going on. Do you remember?
She took Emma to her boyfriend's basketball game.
Okay. So I need to have a conversation with Emma then.
Because she made Emma ask you, remember?
Well, that was for tonight. Okay.
Yeah, that was for tonight.
All right. Well, she gets a freebie. Thanks for joining, guys. Feel free to share the stream. Feel free to chat. Here in a little while, about 10, 15 minutes, we'll shout everybody out. So if you want us to shout you out, just say hi, talk amongst yourselves. Keep the chat classy, keep it respectful. We're gonna talk about something that I think is very important. I want to know what you guys think of it. This article that I'm going to bring up, I can put it on the screen for you guys. Yeah, here's the left monitor. Let's see if I can turn the overlays off so they're not in the way there. Okay, well, they're not in the way. I can leave them on. This article here is very interesting. I shared it in United Paranormal Society on Facebook, and it's titled, "Give Us a Sign of Your Presence, Paranormal Investigation as a Spiritual Practice." So, and the date is July 30th, 2015, so it's been out for a few years, 4 years, almost. It starts off by saying, the recent proliferation of ghost hunting television shows reflect the broad public interest in what participants refer to as paranormal investigation. Currently, over 3,000 paranormal investigation teams exist in the U.S., and more exist worldwide. Paranormal investigators use a wide variety of investigative methods in their attempt to find evidence of ghosts and, therefore, life after death. Based on these years of participant observation and 32 interviews with paranormal investigators, this article argues that paranormal investigation functions as a spiritual practice for participants. Investigators' motives, methods, and meanings they attribute to the investigating are all imbued with spiritual significance. For some investigators, the practice helps validate existing religious beliefs, while for others, it prompts a spiritual transformation. Many participants rely upon conventional religious or New Age beliefs to interpret experiences during investigations, but even those who primarily rely on science and theology find the practice spiritually meaningful. So when I read that, I'm like, that I think that hits the nail squarely on the head when it comes to why I do what I do. I think when I talk to help me, what is his name? We had him on Necromancer. No. Remember the guy from UK, and he said it was very hard to remove yourself from a paranormal investigation, and he wrote the book Ghostology, I think it was, and a few others. I'll look it up, so if he's watching this by chance, I don't look like a fool. But what he said rang true to me. He said that the hardest thing to do is to remove you as a human with your beliefs and your bias from an investigation. He says if you're able to do that, you will become the most objective participant and tool in the process of actually investigating something. Because whether you think you do or not, it's almost impossible to remove all your bias, all your beliefs and views and faiths and everything that you think spiritually from an investigation. And that's what we want to do if we want to be objective, right? But it's almost impossible to do. It's very, very difficult. So this is actually a study that was done, and we're going to read some stats here, and it gets very interesting. But before I don't know if I'll dig into the stats yet, but basically this article states that for the last 40 years, atheism has kind of ran up the percentage of people who has kind of abandoned, the general dogmas, the Christianity, the Catholicism, Judaism, Islam, all that stuff. That's waning away. And partly there's like 3 or 4 reasons. The reason is like they want to diversify their spirituality. Maybe going to the churches and the communities that they align with isn't a thing that they want to do. Maybe they want to take their own personal religion a step further and kind of interpret the Bible or interpret whatever holy texts or whatever beliefs that they have their own way. And I think this is a trend that kind of follows along with the Western culture, specifically in the US, that we want to try to diversify what we believe in, because these texts that we're, supposedly trying to use to apply to our daily life doesn't exactly hold up 2,000 some odd years later. So we want to diversify what we believe. So the other things that you want to see is once you see that these dogmas, these religions, these belief systems don't do their job, you see people wane away from them and go into other things like spiritualism. There is a wave of New Age spiritualism that's happening, and the numbers keep going up and up. It hasn't gone down. It hasn't plateaued. The people who practice witchcraft, paganism, even if they don't believe anything at all, maybe they believe in a god, but they don't want to believe in the Christian version of one. All these things. Let's see if I can go to some parts of this article that states the actual information I'm trying to put out there. This population is 2 times more likely than the general public, 37% versus 18%, to identify as spiritual but not religious. So that's an important statistic there. There is a reference to the Pew Forum on Religion and Public Life 2012. I will put this article in the chat for you guys so you guys can see this. And I want it's got a ton of information, very well written and researched article. Let's see here. A third trend is what can probably be called a New Age movement. That's the one I talked about before. At the root of this phenomenon is a shift towards individualized modes of belief and practice. Identified this as a transition from dwelling to seeking. In seeking forms of spirituality, individuals are empowered to define their own unique belief system in relationships to what they believe to be sacred. This general process has taken many forms. In one trend, referred to as believing without belonging, many people are disengaging from religious institutions, as I was saying, and while retaining personal religious beliefs. A related trend is the rise of religious nuns, people, Nones, not Nuns, people who report no religious affiliation. Nuns increased from 7% in 1972 to nearly 23% of the U.S. state's population in 2014. So that's a huge, huge upswing. According to Pew Research Center 2015, movement away from the religion to identification as religiously unaffiliated is the most common trend. So people don't want to be affiliated with certain denominations and faiths and religions. They're diversifying. So I find this interesting, right? So when we go into a location, or we're doing someone's residence, or we're ghost hunting, or we're doing ITC, or whatever we're doing, you're not investigating a claim, and you're not trying to replicate or observe something someone else has experienced. You're almost trying to induce your own experience based on what you believe, and this is the most subjective way you can do things. You're trying to be objective, but you're not. And that's the point I want to bring up, and I want to know what you think about that. Should we use our own biased spiritual beliefs, our own spirituality, and our methodology? Should we approach these investigations, these ghost hunts, our research in general, with what we believe? I feel that I'm constantly shifting between objectivity to spirituality because I'm torn. I feel like my spirituality is very, very important, and I've needed to have that since my father's death. And I need to have that spirituality there to help me not only cope with the death of loved ones, but I feel like there's a void. When I felt like there was a void in spiritual belief, a higher power, a way to connect with a higher self and a higher power. I think that's a lot of people are wired in this country, but when they start to diversify, or they don't feel like they quite fit in to like whatever community churches that they have or communities that they have, they kind of feel disassociated from them. And that's how I felt. But I love science. I love the objective methodologies. I like the critical thinking of it. So I'm constantly shifting between the two. And ever since I've been working with my mother, I've been leaning more towards spirituality and less away towards objectivity, especially with the psychical research I do. So it's almost like a back and forth battle. And I don't know if I'm balancing this yet, but I'll let others judge, because I think I can't get outside the fishbowl and know if I'm balancing these things yet. But basically, this is what I want the takeaway from the show to be. Do you feel like your paranormal research and investigation is more of a spiritual practice, or do you feel like it's an objective way to remove yourself from your own beliefs, rather, from the research investigating you're doing? Is that what you're doing? So I think this is something we definitely need to be aware of all the time, and we need to balance out our own beliefs versus just trying to be as objective as possible. So we'll go ahead and do the YouTube shout outs. I know I see John Cool there. MP has joined us.
You have Bill Davis. You have Bucky Compton.
Yeah. Limelit Girls here with us. Ronnie and Becky, we shouted out before. Sam Thomas is here. Exposing Reality is here. Bill Davis isn't on YouTube. General 7 is here. A Fireball, Paranormal Reporter. I think I've named everybody. Yeah. So who we got on Facebook?
I have Valerie. I have Marlene, Marilyn. I have Derek. I have Vanessa. I have Sandy. I have Josh. I have Eddie. I had Alec Bob. I'm not sure if I have him anymore. I have Amber, Daniel, Landon, Jolene, Jamie, and I have Darren on RU.
Awesome. Yeah, we got 20 viewers on YouTube right now. That's really cool. Thanks for joining us, guys. Do you have any questions or any
No.
interesting comments yet? I'm going to try to see if there's any questions on YouTube.
Um, were you talking about Ian Griffin, the guest?
No, here, let me find out who the heck I was talking about real quick.
Okay.
He is very, very, very good. So let me go to playlists, Necromancer live show, and I'm gonna look. Yeah, Steve Parsons. That's who I was trying to remember. Steve Parsons, one of the guys out there that is very cognizant of how his beliefs and his perception as a human being impacts an investigation. And one of the biggest takeaways I had from his interview was the hardest thing and maybe the most important thing is to remove everything you think and believe, and just you're almost like a robot. You have no feelings, you have no expectations, interpretations. I found it very interesting. So I know Paranormal Reporter says I have been studying different beliefs used during investigations. It's quite diverse, and yes, it is. I mean, especially when people are making their own stuff up as they go, which is something that I kind of do. I think everybody kind of does. I like that because the free will factor is there. Like the fact that someone tells you this is how it is, despite what you feel or believe, doesn't seem great. I think if you have a choice in believing what you want to believe based on your experiences, then I think that's pretty cool.
Valerie had an interesting comment. She said, I think if you're investigating a residence, you should use the tools that the resident is familiar with, as also using your own. Just be open to different practices and
Right.
religious tools.
Yeah, and that's important because resident people and that want you to come to their house, they're looking for people that align with their belief systems. And if you don't align with their belief systems, it can be a problem. So that's one issue you want to get squared away and checked off the list right away. Definitely. That's very good. I know John Cool says people are looking for the same answers to the same questions as faith and the tradition religious beliefs have waned. That's right. And P says, Justin, at what point does a person call you over? And if they do they expect you will get rid of a problem? Sometimes people want to understand what's going on. B is, if there's something bad there, can you get rid of it? I guess that's what you're asking me, Justin. At what point does a person call you over? And if they do they expect you to get rid of a problem? Yeah, usually they want you, most of the time, they generally want you to help them understand what's going on. And then if there is a problem, what do we do about the problem? Join the Church of Reverb, absolutely. I'm trying to catch up with these comments here.
Tiffany just jumped on. You've got Betty Kegley on YouTube as well.
Sweet. What's up, Betty? Becky says, I don't think it's wait. I don't think it's a shoving it. It's what you were taught and separating it and begin open to others' perspectives. Yeah, if you can actually do that. General 7 said, yeah, I guess shoving is showing your beliefs. Is the V right next to the W? I don't know. Showing your beliefs into the paranormal, or okay, shoving, I get it. Yeah, shoving your beliefs into the paranormal research is a huge trend. I mean, let me know if you don't do this. Do you think you do a good job of removing your own beliefs and spirituality from what you do? I know tarot card readers don't. I know psychics don't. If you're a paranormal investigator, do you do that? Betty says we need structure. I think that if there was a standard and an objective approach and a standardized method that everybody is trying to follow, the data that's coming out of the investigations would definitely be better. But right now, it's virtually impossible to standardize anything because everybody's kind of doing this on their own. Not many groups and communities of the paranormal are like linking up and standardizing what they're doing. I know TAPS used to. I don't know how well it's done anymore. Okay, A Fireball says, General 7, LOL, I think I had an incubus last night. Uh-oh. John Cool says, a lot of beliefs were made up. That's right. They were absolutely made up. And that's interesting about religion is you get a community of people that just want to be led through life. They want something to believe in, and they are basically leaving it up to these religious leaders to tell them, hey, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should believe in. But as that article stated, we're moving more and more away from that. You're seeing more and more denominations pop up as time goes on, and people like ghost hunters could be Christians. They kind of bend their own beliefs around so ghost hunting and paranormal research investigation fit into their belief system, where others that say that they subscribe to the same church or religious belief would disagree completely with what they're doing. It's very interesting. But my point of this video is to try to take notice of the fact that the article is stating that we're doing more of a spiritual practice than we are actually investigating. So that's what I kind of want the comments to kind of lead to. Do you think that that's true, or do you think that you do something different than that? Do you think that you leave your spiritual beliefs at the door when you go investigate, or do you think they're with you the whole time? MP says some of these investigators do clearing in the name of Jesus and all that, and claim move the bad spirits on. And can you buy this? Where do the spirits go? Yes, that is done a lot. No one really knows. It's all belief. It's all belief. I feel respect. Sam Thomas says, I feel respect with religions have a great ending. General 7 says, it's hard to just receive and not be influenced by your own self, but we are the best tools, so I guess you got to follow, like Bruce Lee said. Yeah, I mean, removing yourself from an objective approach is the hardest thing, like I said that Steve Parsons said in his interview. Betty Kegley says, Justin, do you know anything about a haunted forest near the Amityville house? No, I do not. I do not at all. A lot of parable beliefs have been said and used so much that they are taken as fact. That is true. Yeah, I mean, this is something that Missy, what do you think? Is this something that you think about? Is this something that you even worry about?
No, not when it comes to investigating. I mean, you know, I guess I approach it differently than everybody else, but when I see what I see, I hear what I hear. I don't, it's not like I call on anybody to see it.
Well, what I've noticed about you is you really don't really know what to believe. You're still in that phase like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what to believe. And you kind of ask me a lot of questions like, what do you think about this? What is this? I think that you are in the process of still trying to find your spirituality. Do you think that's fair to say?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Like if someone's watching the show and they feel like they're in the same boat as you, what would you suggest to them? Like, how would you express what you've been doing to get there?
Well, I don't know. You know me, I wouldn't have a suggestion. I'd just be like, I don't know.
Well, you read books, right?
Well, yeah.
And you watch shows.
Yeah.
I mean, like you've read some books on, some crystals and metaphysical stuff, psychic stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you believe in God?
Yeah.
When you go to a paranormal investigation, do you pray to a God? Do you rely on a God?
No. I wouldn't say I brought that into it. I just go in
like using your body as a tool.
Yeah.
I
I
would
guess
agree with
that's
that.
kind of what it is, right?
Thank you, Melinda, for following. Let's see here.
Uh, Sandy Griffith had a comment too. She said, "In my opinion, if I had a problem that needed fixing, religion wouldn't even come into play when it came to finding someone to fix it."
Can you read that again? I'm sorry.
She said, "In my opinion,
Okay, I see it. In
if
my
I had a
opinion.
problem that needed fixing, religion wouldn't even come into play when it came to finding someone to fix it."
Okay, that's an interesting statement, Sandy. Everything that I know that involves getting rid of something spiritual involves or is relies on a spiritual belief. If you know something that doesn't, let me know. But every form of cleansing and banishing that I know relies on a certain belief and a faith in a belief. And that's what a lot of these are saying. I know MP says, or was it Rane? Yeah, Rane said, what about spiritual beliefs for protection? That kind of goes along with banishing and cleansing. If you want to feel protected, you have to have some spiritual belief intact. There's got to be a higher power or something metaphysical or unseen that's there to protect you. Or maybe it is seen by you, but something non-physical, metaphysical.
Jamie Hunt said, "Spirituality and religion are two different things."
Spirituality and religion are two different things. Please explain.
Darren said, "Is it really the truth? Are Catholics the only ones that can perform exorcisms?"
It depends on who you ask. Some would say yes, some say no. Then you're dealing with belief systems, and you have to have a belief in demonic possession, and you have to have a belief in who's allowed, who's had the training, and all that. It depends on who you ask. Hey Justin, does poltergeist come from the people in the home? I believe it can. A lot of the parapsychologists believe that it does, but if humans can, if PK has something to do with humans, living humans, then I think that humans' consciousness that survives death can actually, deal with PK. I think their psychokinetic emanations can have an impact on an environment as well. But I think that when you're dealing with a haunting or any type of paranormal phenomena, all the mitigating factors and all the puzzle pieces and all the recipes that are laid out, it's hard to pinpoint what is causing what and what all the pieces together are. It's hard to isolate and diversify everything that's going on and label everything, which is what humans like to do. And although we're trying to figure out what all the factors are, what all the puzzle pieces are for this phenomenon to occur, we're taking shots in the dark. In parapsychology, the PK stuff is interesting because they do rigid, objective experiments, and instead of what we do in practice, we just kind of go out there and just point cameras, turn on recorders, ask if there's a presence, or maybe we just sit back and observe. We have so many different methods and approaches and beliefs that we can't really make headway even on our own terms. But we can't, when we submit it to everybody to review, it's not a standardized thing. So that's what makes it very difficult for the paranormal field to progress. Good question for Darren. Let's see what I'm missing here.
Good question for Justin, Darren.
Oh, it's very hard to read comments and do the show at the same time.
I know that. I'm getting them. I'm trying. Eddie Pence said, "I've been raised a Christian when I was a kid. I've noticed that some religious people are the most ignorant and brainwashed people I've ever met. I am not bashing Christians. Even my family hates what I do, as in the paranormal. Had to say this.
Who was that?
Eddie Pence said that.
Oh boy, that sucks, man.
Sandy Griffith said, if I had a problem, I would just assume the people I got to fix it would use their belief to help me. I would hope by sending positive energy.
Okay, I see what Jamie Hunt wrote. Spirituality is a concern for humans. Religion is believing in God power. I'm very spiritual, but definitely not religious. Spirituality is a concern for humans. Let's see what Google says spirituality is. Spirituality is a broad concept with room for many perspectives. In general, it includes a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves, and typically involves a search for meaning in life, such as in the universal human experience, something that touches us all. So it's very broad, and it leaves room for various beliefs. So that's, I think, this is the biggest difference between religion and spirituality. It's a way for you to customize and diversify what you believe in instead of going by like a rule book.
Laura Brownlow said that PK is super interesting.
I agree. I think so too. Truth Paranormal TV, Joe Vitale says, one has pointed out about me when I investigate with others. Most of the time, I sit back and observe other people and study them. Interesting. See.
He also said, it's okay, Eddie. I'm a Christian, and a lot of my Christian family don't like what I'm doing.
Yikes. Yeah, that sucks when, you don't get support from your support system. That really, really sucks. Eddie, why do you think that? Like, what, if you don't mind me asking, what has led you away from how you were brought up? Like, why do you diversify your own spirituality? What kind of made you, stray away from how you were brought up? I'm interested in knowing what done that. Was it one thing? Was it a lot of different things? That would be interesting to know. Oh, Sandy
Laura
Griffin
said my family hates it too.
Laura's family hates it too?
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah, like, what's Laura, what has led you away from how you were brought up? Like, is it just, I know you've had a personal experience, and maybe that because that was so profound, you thought that there was something you were missing and you wanted to explore more, and you don't want to be tied down and having people mandate or dictate what you believe or what you should believe. I think that's why a lot of people stray away from religion, is they don't like people telling them what the hell to do or what to believe. And I relate to that. General 7 says PK's crazy energy and almost an angry type surge. It can be. It can be. What's up, Michael Allen Phillips? Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Your wife just jumped on too.
Uh-oh.
You better be on your best behavior now, Justin.
The fact that she's not watching Grey's Anatomy right now has me baffled.
Maybe it's a commercial.
she wants to make sure that we're not talking, or I'm not talking bad about her.
I would never talk bad about Christy.
It would be me probably if anybody would. So Christy's here with us. So yeah, I mean, have you guys went through a spiritual transformation? Like, did you get brought up with one religion and then stray away from it, kind of like this article talks about, or have you always been solidified in one religious belief throughout your whole life? I would definitely be interested in knowing that information. Very, very interesting stuff. Excuse me.
We've got Wes with us, just joined. TJ just joined.
What's up, guys? We are talking about, or asking the question, is paranormal investigation a spiritual practice? So let's see what the chat says. If you believe that spiritual if paranormal investigation is a spiritual practice, type 1 in the chat. If you don't think it is, type 2. Joe says, according to my family and true Christians, and I say that sarcastically, that when you die, you immediately go to one place or another, and we're not talking to ghosts. It's all demons and shit. A lot of people believe that.
So when did Melissa discover she was a psychic medium?
When was that?
I was about 8, 9, maybe.
What happened?
I think I ignored it until then. We lived in my parents lived down the road here, and I walked into the basement. Of course, I was just a kid, and there was some guy standing there, and I was talking to him. Dad was like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, "This guy standing here." He said, "I don't see no guy there." He's there. And I just walked away.
So, like, at that point, did you think that you were different? Did you think that you could slap a label on yourself, that you had this sense that no one else seemed to have?
I just thought Dad was crazy.
So far, no one believes that paranormal investigation is a spiritual practice. One thing I will tell you guys, if you believe in spirits, and if you believe that there is an afterlife, and you go to a location trying to talk and communicate with them, that is a spiritual practice. Because it's a form of two-way communication with a higher power or a spiritual thing. It's like kind of like going to church and talking to God. It's trying staying at home and having a conversation with spiritual things. I really want you guys to understand what the title of this video implies. If you go to a location and you feel certain things and you believe certain things and you're applying that to your investigation, that is a spiritual practice. That doesn't mean you have to preach to other people while you're doing it, but you preach to other people on social media about what you believe and what your spiritual practice. Spirituality includes your spiritual practices or spiritual disciplines, which may include prayer, meditation, chanting, breathing exercises, and ceremonies or rituals. Spirituality in your spiritual life also include your daily interactions with other people. So, let's see here, which may include prayer, meditation, chanting, breathing exercises. It does not diversify it a lot. But when you go back to the abstract of this article, the recent proliferation of ghost hunting television shows reflect the broad public interest in what participants refer to as paranormal investigation. Currently, over 3,000 paranormal investigators teams exist in the U.S. and more exist worldwide. Paranormal investigators use a wide variety of investigative methods in their attempts to find evidence of ghosts and therefore life after death. Based on 3 years of participant observation, 32 interviews with paranormal investigators, the article argues that paranormal investigation functions as a spiritual practice for participants. Investigators' motives, methods, and meanings they attribute to the investigation are all imbued with spiritual significance. Do you think that this is true? Do you think that investigators' motives, methods, and meanings they attribute to investigating are imbued with spiritual significance? That's the question. When you go to investigate, is it imbued with a spiritual significance? Does it mean something spiritually to you, or are you just trying, or is it something else? Let me know if you think it's something else. I know Laura has something there.
Yeah, Sandy had something too. She said the people that I know that are Christian do not believe in ghosts. They feel if you believe in God that you won't be bothered by ghosts because there's no such thing.
Mhm.
Laura said, "I'm the only one in my family that has experienced the paranormal, so they all say. I have always had a draw to the unexplained. I was raised very Christian, and it is wrong to even talk to the dead. When you're dead, you're asleep and know nothing. Everything investigators talk to is evil. I feel a need to help people, and I know how it feels to have no one believe you." Eddie Pence said, "I realized that it was more of a control issue when I hit my teenage years. Also, I've seen so many hypocrites showing up to family cookouts. It made me sick emotionally, which were higher ups in the church. So I went on my own direction."
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Christy asked, "Is it just my phone or is his audio not synced?"
Yeah, guys, let me know if the audio is not syncing. I know I had a problem on YouTube the last show we did, but it was okay on Facebook. Let's see if we can bring it up. Oh my,
Nocturnal said, "Modern day necromancy."
yes, it's basically what it is.
Truth Paranormal TV, Jeff Vitale said, "According to Google, every religion, every belief, or even non belief is some form of spirituality."
Yeah, guys, YouTube or Facebook is synced, so I don't know what Christie's dealing with. A lot of people saying that paranormal investigation is spiritual. What's up, Jay Ninja? What's going on? I see you there. Betty says my family on my mom's side is super religious. I have an aunt that's a preacher. They say you go to heaven or hell. There's nothing else. A lot of people do believe that. MP says Jesus even said, "Father, into your hands I cometh my spirit," and there is a Holy Ghost. YouTube's good, thanks, Betty. Jen says we Google is corrupted by the religious dictatorships. It's hard to know what to trust anymore. I don't blame you
TJ
there.
said, TJ said, "I've heard the Christian arguments about there being no such thing as ghost, and yet there's the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, making it confusing."
The most interesting part of the Bible about ghosts is the witch of Endor and in the book of Samuel, where the witch of Endor resurrects Saul's spirit for, or is it Samuel for Saul? I can never remember that, but the spirit of someone who's dead was brought back by a witch in the Bible. So the Bible says there is ghosts, despite what other people say and what you think your perception of the Bible is.
And witches.
And witches, correct. It is the thing. The Bible said so. Bible said there's ghosts were real, the witches were real, necromancy's real. It's all real, folks.
Jamie Hunt said, "I think that spirituality is being redefined now by paranormal investigators."
Who said that, Jamie?
Yeah.
And that's what the article says. That's the whole premise of the article. And I think you're right. I think what we're doing in general is like a new wave of spiritualism. But it's interesting because we're diversifying our own beliefs and applying them to our own path, our spiritual path. But one of the takeaways, what I want people to realize is that a good thing? Are we doing are we helping people by doing that, or are we more helping ourselves? Would it be helpful to try to step outside our own spiritual beliefs and investigate things more objectively without our spiritual beliefs? I'd say yes and no. The things that would help would be to keep your mind open and flexible to not only other people's beliefs that are experiencing the phenomena, but I think that once you're trying to look for answers and try to solve problems spiritually, I think that you can close the doors to a lot of things if you only believe in a certain way. Like, you're never going to say it's a demon if you don't believe in demons, right? Or vice versa. If you believe in demons, everything that seems demonic or seems bad could be a demon. So I think that there's where the problems lie. So a lot of times people will ask me, "Well, what do you think?" And like, here's my mom and here's me. I'm more of the person that's in the middle, like, it could be this. Here's this information. I don't know if it's that. We need more information to determine whether it's that. I love coming up with ideas and researching things and applying them to the paranormal research field, but in the end, we really don't know. We just don't. Let's see here.
You had some good comments up there, but they disappeared, and I can't read them.
Okay, I got them here. On AMC's good. What I meant, MP says what I meant there is spirit and ghosty. Okay. Paranormal Reporter says they also asked Jesus if he was a ghost, and he said, "I am not a ghost." He didn't tell them, idiots. There are no ghosts. Ron A says, well, there is purgatory. Jen says, it depends on definitions, doesn't it? I mean, contacting spirits could be considered spiritual. Religion called spiritual, but the true spiritual isn't taught is a natural thing. Yes, that's definitely one way. That's a good concept. Betty says, I believe in God. I think the Bible is a guide not to be taken verbatim, which I agree with. There are definitely good teachings in the Bible. There's a lot of good ethics in the Bible. Yeah, MP, if you want me to bring up what book in the Bible, it's in the book of Samuel. I forget which chapter. I'll look it up here in a minute. Joe says, I have noticed that the majority of people who take the pagan or Wiccan beliefs stems from the negative experiences with the Christian faith, like what Eddie is talking about. Yes, that may be true in a lot of situations. Some people are brought up as Wiccans. So that's why I kind of ask, the chat, had they shifted or transitioned from one belief into another, and how diverse was that transition? I definitely want to know and understand that more. Betty says, I think if I brought up the witch to my aunt, there would be an answer that fits their narrative. Don't get me wrong, though. My family are giving, loving, not preachy unless you want to hear it. Yeah, I think a lot of people... Let's look that up. Witch of Endor Bible chapter. Yeah. So, in the Hebrew Bible, the Witch of Endor is a woman Saul consulted. Okay, Saul was the person who consulted the witch, and she summoned the spirit of Samuel to summon the spirit of prophet Samuel in the 28th chapter. So Samuel chapter 28 is where you want to look to read about the Witch of Endor. The first book of it's the first book of Samuel. In order to receive advice against the Philistines in the battle after his prior attempts to consult God through sacred lots and prophets had failed. So Samuel, first book of Samuel, chapter 28. That's what you want to look at. Very, very interesting.
Truth Paranormal said when Jesus came back from the dead, one of his disciples seen him and questioned whether or not it was truly Jesus or not. Jesus replied, I am not a ghost.
Right. He was resurrected in the flesh, but then he ascended to heaven. So there you go. The Bible does talk about witches, necromancy, ghosts, all that. It does not say it's not true. And people who disbelieve that, despite the book of Samuel, chapter 28, they said that it was God who done all that, and it wasn't the witch. But it doesn't say anything about that in the book of Samuel. it said that the Witch of Endor done it. It didn't say God did it at all. But that's what a lot of preachers I've seen online say about it. They just want to interpret it in another way so they don't have to tell people that ghosts and witches are real and not demonic. Yeah, Saul actually had to go outside of his own kingdom, his own realm, to find this witch because necromancy was forbidden in Saul's realm. So Endor was outside the realm where he resided. Yep, Jesus definitely wasn't a ghost, and that.
Sam said, "Damn, having audio problems." I don't know if she means on her end or your end.
It should. Everybody else is hearing us just fine. Oh, do we have Oh, we do have Marilyn on Facebook. What's up, girl?
I shouted her out.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, Eric sent me this stuff 32 minutes ago. It was too late, Eric. I needed it before. Eric McGill has a new promo for Haunted Minds. We'll show it tomorrow. No, Friday.
No, we'll show it Friday.
I'll at least share it. Spirit Stalker Afterlife. Hi, Betty. I believe Paranormal Reporter says, I believe an angel came down and gave Adam a spell book to help him cope out of Eden.
Cop out of Eden. Cope out of Eden.
I don't know what. I don't get that, dude. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, we're winding down. We got about 7 minutes left on the show. What do you guys think about this idea? Do you think it was a good show topic? I'm trying to reach for topics. We're 85 episodes in. I need some suggestions from the Patreons, from you folks. What do you want me to talk about next week? What do you think is a good topic? You can submit them to the Justin Brown Paranormal Research page on Facebook. Just message me on that page. If you're on YouTube, you can email me at justinbrown@interfacedeath.net with your suggestions. Yeah, let me know what you guys want me to talk about and what you guys want to talk about, because here pretty soon I'm going to run out of ideas. I mean, I know it's the paranormal and there's a lot of stuff going on, but I want to know what you guys think we should talk about. A sexual book. What did I miss there?
I don't know. I didn't even see that comment.
I think she's she's talking to Bill about, I believe an angel came down and gave Adam a spell book.
Oh, okay.
Oh, to cope after being cast from Eden. Okay. Well, it was definitely Eve's fault. According to the book of Genesis. Para-unity. Hey, I try to be para-unified, guys. I'm not going to be one of those that goes on social media and says that it's bullshit and there is no para-unity. Yes, there is. Depends on who you talk to.
Laura said, I would love to hear how paranormal investigators protect themselves in the field. I was one that I had wanted to do in the past.
How to protect ourselves. Let's make sure that I haven't done one like that. I don't think so.
I don't think we have.
I do not think so. We'll look. I got to look at 85 videos. Hold my beer. I don't think we have. I think I remember if we have done something. I don't think we have. And I know it's a lot of things people are interested in, but I might be weird. I don't ever worry about. I mean, there's a couple times where I've had to been smudged after an investigation, but I don't go in feeling like I need protection. Like I pretty much want stuff to happen to me to better understand what's going on. And if something, I know one thing that happened to me that was really bad, I didn't really need much protection. But there are times that smudging does the trick. But if you don't want anything to happen to you, why even go to these places? right? Maybe if you want to get the EVP or if you want to get the ghost on camera, but you don't want anything to hurt you, I would understand. But, some people want to actually know what connecting with the location or entity does, or if there's any vulnerabilities, because I want to understand what the human body's vulnerabilities are to these ghosts and entities and demons and stuff, because I think if I do know, I can help protect people against them. Hopefully that doesn't kill me.
Jamie said unique investigation techniques, not ITC, etc.
I like that. So the notebook's over there. So we got what people do to protect themselves, unique investigation experiments and methods. What else you guys got? What did Eddie Pence say that Josh is commenting on?
The House of Wells.
What about it? It is crazy. Me and Josh has been there.
Yeah.
Josh really didn't want to go there. He was like, I don't know. Man, his teeth were hurting really bad. I think that helped take his mind off the place a lot. Arden Paranormal says, regarding your episode title, I think it all depends on the person and their beliefs and what their purpose of contacting spirit is. I agree. I do agree with that. And my general statement was, when you're dealing with potential entities in a location and you're trying to contact them, is that a spiritual practice? I think yes. Mostly it is. But there's argument there. There's a debate there, and that's kind of what I wanted to happen on the show. And I want you guys to continue this debate and questioning of this topic. Is it bad that paranormal investigation is a spiritual practice? I don't think so. I think some people would say, well, you need to leave your feelings and beliefs at the door. I'm like, well, do you?
That would be a cool one. Entities and elementals.
We have done several on different types of entities. Like we've done one on non-human entities. I don't know if we specifically done elementals.
We haven't specifically done elementals.
I know I've talked about it before.
Yeah, but not in depth.
You don't want me to go in depth on anything. I'd probably put you right to sleep. I don't know.
Can Melissa detect an attachment? I've never done it. Not saying that I can't.
Yeah, that's more of a shamanic ability, but not necessarily. I feel like that I can sometimes see certain things, but I need to definitely focus in on the individual and know the individual quite well. I can't just go through Walmart and be like, you have an attachment. You have an attachment. Everyone has an attachment. I can't do that.
Why not, Justin?
Because I don't care.
TJ said, I'd like to see a show about haunted objects. I'm currently overrun by my in-laws' belongings. One doll was super creepy. I had my husband take it to the dump, even though it was worth quite a bit as an antique.
We have done a show on haunted objects. Pretty sure. Trying to find the episode number.
Josh said, what about demonology and demonologist?
He's been wanting that. If you guys want me to do next Tuesday shows about demonology and demons, type 1. Because Josh would love you. I'm pretty sure we've done something about haunted objects.
So what do we type if we don't want it?
Don't type anything.
Okay.
General's 7's I'm attached. I'm attached to a lot of things, but they're not spiritual.
A lady beat me with a balloon to get rid of mine. Hell.
What Josh said?
No, Bill. That was Bill said that. I don't know what he meant.
Becky relayed or conveyed a really interesting experience to me today. I wish I could see something like that. Maybe I will one day. 11111111111.
Three of those are Derek Shriners.
Josh. Will it happen?
They're just putting them in there.
Derek's like,
double.
Yeah. Derek, you're cheating. Stop that.
Derek, stop it. I'm going to come downstairs and beat you. My shoe.
The Valdez guy. What about him? You want me to interview him? I think I haven't interviewed him yet, but I've talked to him quite a bit. Rich Valdez.
He would do the show again.
Rich Valdez. I wonder, should I just bring him on to this show? I don't normally do that, but we might make an exception. I'll message
Derek really wants it.
Yeah, I see that.
I am a Patreon, LOL, Josh said.
Yes, I have to take that into consideration. All right, fine. Next Tuesday, demon stuff.
Do you want me to get a hold of Rich and see if he'll come on?
Okay. I will.
All right.
Do you think that he'll want to talk to you more than me? Is that why you said that?
No, I just...
Okay.
I'm not as busy as you are.
Oh, I can message him. I haven't talked to him for a while.
Night's Watch Paranormal would be a good guest. They would be a guest.
Well, they were on EPS when I had them on.
Yeah, but now they're Night's Watch Paranormal.
All right, well, just maybe a spirit at a cemetery would want help if there was one there. Yeah, spirits can need help anywhere they're at. They can be anywhere and everywhere. All right, guys. Well, thanks for all your input. Thanks for helping me figure out the next topic for this show next week. I think it's official. Missy, have we missed anything? Do we have everybody?
I think we got everybody. What's TJ
Shelton saying there? I'd like a show about haunted. Okay, you read that.
Yeah.
TJ, I want you to go through the video tab on the Facebook page you're watching this from, unless you're watching on RU Media. Go to Justin Brown Paranormal Research on Facebook, go to videos, and look through them. I don't have time now to do that, but I know that we did a show about haunted objects. Joe says, I contacted whoever runs the House of Wills. I don't know if Eric Freeman has someone do it or not. They never did get back to me. I'm going to have to message him again. It's hard to get in there. Daniel Class will be on Necromancer March 25th. So that's a Wednesday show, Arden. I have just booked Dan. So he will be on the Wednesday show from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Your wish has been granted. All right, guys. Yeah, I know, right? Thank you for joining. You guys are awesome. I loved everybody's comments. I fiend for all your feedback. It helps me very much. So thank you for watching. Thank you for interacting with me. We're going to take a look at all the... Missy, can I hear? Yeah, I can hear your... Yeah, there you go. Here's the links, guys. InterfaceDeath.net. Please go check out the website. Pretty please with sugar on top. And please subscribe to the mailing list. I promise I won't spam you. I promise. Please go. It's very expensive, and there's a lot of information there. Justin Brown Paranormal Research. We're on Facebook with this show. You can check out Interface Death on Twitter and Instagram. Patreon.com/support Interface Death is a way to financially support us and get rewarded. Of course, our YouTube channel is Interface Death Paranormal Research. If you just want to do a small one-time donation, PayPal, you can do it directly, or you can use the Streamlabs PayPal link in the video description. If you donate during the show, a message will pop up, and you will see that little thing like Spirit Stalker Afterlife's donation scroll across the screen so everybody knows who donated. And if you want to join our Discord, I think that link doesn't work. So if you want to join my Discord, say in chat you want to join Discord, and I give you a new link. On Facebook, there is United Paranormal Society Facebook group. It's not just about ghosts. It's about aliens, cryptids, everything paranormal. send me an invite request and I will accept you, and you can share everything, your paranormal work, your stories, articles, whatever you like. It's friendly, respectful, and you don't get bashed for your beliefs. And last but not least, we are going to shout out these Patreons. Please extend your thanks to these folks. They help keep this show free to watch, keep it going, make it better and better. Clay Borman, Katie Turner, RJ Murphy, Scotty Fox, Casey Schreiner, Jessica Bias, Paranormal Reporter, Anthony Grothis, General 7, Heather Elliott, Joe Vitale, The Ghost Guild, Kelly McConkey, Tony Filosi, Betty Kegley, Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers, and Deadlight LLC. Thank you very much for your support. And for the patrons, I am going to upload the gag reel that's on the bonus footage of the box set, so you guys on Facebook will get to watch that. So they get the good extra stuff. Thank you guys. I'm going to do these video promos like I do at the end of every show. You're in our hearts. Thank you very much. We love you. No Necromancer this week. Interface Death Weekly is Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can watch us back there. We'll see you next time. Do you have that drive? That morbid curiosity to explore the darkness? Do you have what it takes to brave the night? You do? Good.
I'd like to see you. What the fuck was that?
lost your audio from your lavalier. Did the power go off?
Well, I felt like I got pinched. But it wasn't like a
Did the display turn off?
This just died.
You gotta be kidding me.
It just died.
Okay, that's brand new lithium-ion batteries. We'll keep rolling. Dude, there's...
Yeah, but at least that one definitely documented it. That's still rolling, that camera.
Oh, yeah, this is rolling too.
Yeah, these just freaking died.
Let me double check.
I held it in, the light came on to the title screen. And
Dude, I'm starting to feel really, like, weird sensations touching me, dude. I don't know what's going on.
yeah, it felt like something... Yeah, like just dead as a doornail. And those are brand new.
In recent years, the word paranormal has taken on a new place in thoughts and minds of people everywhere. Once a word associated with blasphemy and the supernatural, paranormal has entered mainstream thoughts and conversations. 42% of American population believe in either ghosts or hauntings today. Within that, the discussions in the media have tripled in the last 20 years. In 2016, a radio talk show rose from the darkness in New York and now has become a popular beam of light with a no-holds-barred paranormal discussion. It's raw, live, and sometimes out of control. It's real and here, allowing all that care to listen to new ideas, new thoughts, old superstitions, and sometimes the downright weird. You want different? You want off the cuff? You want edgy? Then Paratalk Radio is what you should be listening to. It's 2 hours of guests, interviews, skepticism, unusual topics, and outside-the-box strange that pushes every button on the soundboard of life. So again, discover Paratalk Radio. Monday nights on WLFE DB Radio Network, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Paratalk Radio can be seen as live videocast on Facebook and heard on audio streams through iHeart, iTunes, Google.Play, Spotify, Spreaker, Comcast, Radio.com, and so many more. Join Ted and Cindy every Monday with guests and topics that will open a pathway to the unknown, the supernatural, and the paranormal.
This is Jason Bland, host of Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup, where we stream live as a webcast every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, with guests who will blow your mind. Live ghost box sessions where you can call into the show to see if the spirits will talk to you, and the world wide web of weird with the latest in paranormal news and evidence. We're bringing the weird every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.
Hi, I'm Eric McGill.
And I'm David Woolever.
And we are paranormal investigators welcoming you to join us as we put new theories to the test and attempt to explain strange phenomena. We invite you on a journey that will give you a glimpse into our haunted minds. Hi guys, Eric McGill here, RU Media Network and Our Haunted Minds. I just want to talk to you guys real quick about the awesome stuff going on behind the scenes. The Our Haunted Minds video is coming along swimmingly, and it's really going to be awesome. As you guys know, Adam Kimmel is joining us for the first investigation with Dave and I. And then after that, we may have Chris, or we may have Becca, or we may have Ashley. But it's really exciting, and you guys are not going to want to miss this first one. A lot of awesome stuff happened.
Hello everyone, I'm the Goose.
And I'm Michael Bradley.
Is that what you're calling yourself tonight?
Heisenberg.
Not the Angry Kitty.
Max Braggins.
Anywho, we're the hosts of the Cryptic Paranormal Show.
On our show, we'll talk about all things paranormal except Bigfoot. He freaks me out.
Really, dude?
You know that, but I mean, I guess we could talk about him as long as I don't have to see him.
We will talk. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about all fields in the paranormal realm.
And every week we will interview new guests, celebrities, and researchers in the field, and all our comrades in the paranormal underground.
And we aren't afraid to ask the hard questions no one else will. Our conversations are rooted in our own experiences as paranormal investigators.
So be prepared to have your minds, your opinions, and your beliefs challenged.
And let's not forget to warn them about all the tomfoolery and shenanigans. Let's just say, you might want to put the kiddos to bed before tuning in. They don't call us the paranormal shock jocks for nothing.
Do they call us that?
If they don't, they will.
So be sure to tune into the Cryptic Paranormal Show every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on RU Media Network.
Spook you later, crypto heads.
Bye.
Shut up.
Welcome into the Abyss with your host, Sean Gilmore. Open your mind, both of your ears, and all three of your eyes to discuss all things supernatural with weekly special guests. We believe that we all learn from each other and we all have a lot to learn. What will you learn today? Here is your host, Sean Gilmore.